Okay, today I got to grind corn for the heifers. Now, last couple times I ground some corn, I used the straight M. Just because I had to shovel the corn anyway. I had the M up here to do a little work on it. I had to fuel it up and stuff. I usually keep it down by the other shed, which is, about a half mile down the road. So, 1650 Oliver. I'm gonna give this thing a workout today. There was one suggestion and I think it was a great one. So even though we got other tractors, I'm gonna put this on the grinder mixer. I gotta shovel the corn anyway, so it's probably not gonna feed it in too crazy fast, but I've never ground corn with this before. And this tractor never got a workout. You know, it's raking, it's moving machinery around, it goes to get firewood, it does all these odd, lighter jobs. So today we're gonna give it a workout, so it might do this motor good. It might be more of a situation where we just need to get that carbon cleaned out of her so we can kind of rule that idea out of it. But we'll see. We're gonna check our oil here before we start. And the oil looks really clean. And right up to the F right now. So we're up to the F. So if it's going to burn some oil or if it's going to get some water or whatever's going on in there, if anything, it's going to, it might tell us something. I don't think I'm going to grind a full batch, but because we're kind of in that hot, humid time of the year, and then the corn just seems to get kind of musty because the heifer corn don't get fed out as fast as the cow corn I do every week. The heifer corn maybe twice a month, maybe. That amp. She's got a lot of power. They claimed when it was overhauled, they bored it out or whatever they did to get a little more power out of it. I think she got more power than the MT8. A good motor in it. Okay, give you an update. Our PTO doesn't. And this I had all redone back in '93. I used to cut hay and bale with this quite a bit back in the mid '90s and that. And then we got the bigger tractors, but she's slipping in there, and so it ain't giving it a true workout. The motor's handling it fine. We're gonna go put the M on. You guys are gonna like that. They're gonna see that snort. Now this here's got clutch pads in it and stuff, and it's just, I'm sure after it got hot, it's just wearing. So for this to just run a chopper box or something light, it's not gonna be a problem. But eventually, you might have to replace that if we plan on using it for something bigger. Maybe the tedder I did, but even then, I mean, changing plans here. Not the end of the world. I'm not too surprised. I actually kind of had my doubts about the PTO system. Now the 686 works similar, and the 1066 too with oil, clutch pads and stuff. Personally, I don't even remember what's in there, but whatever it is, it's starting to give way. So imagine that. Something on the farm may need some fixing. Now you're going to see something, some growl, some snap. It's almost kind of fun. So what you got here is the shaft that comes out here goes directly to the main clutch. There's none of this back here, just other than this here shifts it into gear. So what they call, it's not live power, it's not live PTO, it's when you put your clutch in, the PTO stops. It's packed in a mile, somewhere in the 40s. Which I think is very impressive for those days, for what this thing is still doing. I don't believe we can kill this tractor. if it was nighttime, the exhaust would be glowing like cherry red. They're quite the machines for the day they were built. There's not a lot to them, but they're sure tough. So anyway, I gotta keep going here. I gotta clean up. For God's sakes, almost run you over. At least some comments from Mason that this tractor needs some fresh paint. She's definitely got a heart. Definitely. We're gonna get them old MTA tires on here. She's just kind of like panting now, like she's pooped. So here I was gonna show you. See here? I think that's the inner tube I can see in there. And if we take that out in the field on a side hill someplace, that's gonna be not good. Around the yard here, just moving machinery. Well, if it gives away, it's not the end of the world, but it's not going to be fun. It looks like we got a pretty new tube in that. I don't remember what we did last time we had trouble. I think I just patched it. That might be a big patch on that hole, but anyway, 3 sets of weights on her, so there's no fluid in this one. I don't plan on putting fluid in. We could. We'll cross that bridge another day. Can't do it all at once. Like I said, I think this would be a great project to practice on with the paint. The paint situation, kind of master this one before you master something a lot nicer.